Hey, this is Matt. Once again, what about you in the videos? Another paid request, this time for Tim. And this time it is Bottle Monster from 2020. And this is one of those things you just want to jump out the window after watching the film. But for those who are interested in requesting any type of videos, topics, reactions, commentaries, reviews, tier lists, re-reviews, what have you, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this movie, some places say 2022, but apparently this came out 2020, and this was such a garbage film. Which I find funny. It gets like a on IMDb, it gets like a 2 point something, but then there are people on user reviews giving it 8 out of 10, and like, oh, these negative reviews, you're being too harsh. This is not like a $200 million movie. I've seen $200 movies look better than this. Marjorie DeHage film. It looks like it's shot on Shidio. Yeah, the story ain't much. An alcoholic mother with her son moved to a new house. For long ass points of time, it's her playing with her son, and once in a while gets a message from her mom or someone else to come home. Poorly done flashbacks to what happened to her husband. And long story short, you find out there's bugs in the basement. I say bugs, but it's I think they took a real bug and they superimpose it. So it's like they filmed a real bug, but then they superimpose it in the back into the foreground of the damn scene. So that's why it almost looks like CGI, but at the same time it's not. It's like, I don't know, fucking those old movies with Empire of the Ants or something, where they just take real creatures in it or real stuff and they put them. But even then, it's like they at least put them on maybe sometimes models, little miniatures of stuff. Here, not even the case. Just cheap ass horse shit. And the acting is garbage from everybody. The son at times is supposed to be scared, but it looks like he's waiting for the next bit from McDonald's. The mom's supposed to be alcoholic. The only reason we know she's alcoholic because there's like 15 fucking bottles everywhere. But she never really... I'm sorry to the actress, but it was a terrible, terrible job of a performance. It's incompetently directed. There's a bit where she's driving. Okay, she's driving, right? Talk to someone on the phone, whatever. So she's driving, and the next edit, she's at a full stop. She's driving, and the next edit, she's at a full stop. There's no slow down, pulling the car over, put in the park. She's driving, cut, then she's parked. But the conversation is supposed to be going in one fluid motion. I'm like, so you just skip the part where you slow down and put it in park? That's like a bad editing job. And when they get there, there's this guy, he's like, hey, here's the place. And this guy is like sweating, and he puts his hands in the milk duds. Hey kids, you want some candy? Listen, if a random stranger is sticking his sweaty hands into a milk dud carton, I wouldn't be his friend either. He's like, you want to be my friend? No, I don't want your sweaty ass hands. I don't like milk duds anyway. I don't want you milk duds, both between your legs or in your carton. Leave me alone. I don't want to be your friend either. So I don't blame the kid. And like nothing happens for a good chunk of it. It's just trying to establish the kid has his bedroom and him and his mom get along, and it's again poorly acted. The kid is very wooden, or is directed in a very wooden manner. There'll be times like he's like bored in his bed, like then it cuts away. Then next shot he's held to here going I mean he looked like he was ready to, I don't know, play checkers or something. We're shown that she's an alcoholic by at times she pukes, which looks like she just spit up some kind of nasty looking soup. And also when she does it, for some reason the music starts playing monks doing a choir. Oh, oh. Is that really the appropriate music for the puke in the toilet? I'm ready for like Leon Kennedy and Ashley to run by, shoot someone in the face and kick them. You know, oopsie oopsie. I'm ready for Salzer to come in and make fun of people. It just, what the hell is this monk choir music? Oh, that's not really the appropriate music for this bit. Harmonizing monks. And at times, its big go-to for scene transition is fade to black, like fade out, then fade in. And it's done in ways that just... There's a reason why you don't do a lot of fade outs and fade ins, because it just... Especially that it just seems like a cheaper tactic for a scene transition. And there's a lot of bits where it almost seems obtuse to go fade out and then fade into black. And again, the acting is just, I'm sorry, absolutely 100% poor. There's this guy that I don't remember if it was, I guess, a friend or I don't remember the guy's relation to the mom, but they're talking, she's looking, he's on the computer. You need to tell me where you are. No. Like, that's the acting. At one point, there's a handyman that comes by to check on stuff. Also, he does check in the basement. There's a point where the kid goes to the basement. He's scared of something. He goes up. Oh, yeah. The kid somehow knows how to open the damn locked door with a damn screwdriver. I don't even know how to open a door with a screwdriver. But this kid that looks like he's 8 knows how to open a door with a screwdriver. And I know it's mean to rag on the kid, but if you're the director, is this really the best you could get out of this kid? I don't know if he was related to someone, and that's why. That I could say that's the only reason. Because, like the mom, her back is towards the camera, and she presents a cup. You know, I wanted marshmallows. And I'm like, fuck you, kid. Or he's in the bedroom, is like, the monster was here. You can never help me. Just wooden as hell. And when I was talking about the flashbacks, there are times where the kid, he's rolling around in bed, but he's rolling like doing this. Like, this is not, like, I know everybody rolls around in bed, but not like all the way over here, and then all the way over here, and all the way over here, and all the way over here. That's not how people do it. And then I guess the audio is his dad saying all these pieces of dialogue, but it's like the same dialogue repeated and meshed together. So it's like 3-4 lines put together in one audio spooge and just repeated ad nauseum. So it's like, it was fucking irritating to hear, to be honest. And the flashback is the dad. I didn't. There's no good actor in this movie. No good performance. Was yelling at the mom. Yeah, yeah. Call from your work. You know what they said? They're going to fire you. So he gets out of the car. Then another car comes by. He looks, and then the car goes like this, and the guy standing there is like the guy just jumps. Ah, like literally you just see him just jump, trying to mimic that he got hit by the car, but it's done in such a laughable fashion. And then the mom's reaction, the wife, I should say, reaction. Oh no! And then like waddles over to the side. God. So ultimately, the spoiler alert: the handyman gets killed by this awful looking superimposed bud that you tell is not among the actual scenery. It's just they filmed maybe some nature footage of a bud and put that. I have a friend named or a nice guy on here, old curly jaws. He did his. I reacted to his video Amityville. Uh, which I mean, hell, that was better than this. He had like a joke where, oh my god, bugs are after me, and he put like bugs right here, like fake, superimposed. That was almost a bit. If they moved a little bit, that's the same type. And this is supposed to be a full blown movie. And there's a point where the kid calls 911 and says, "There's a monster in my room." "Where's your mom?" "I don't know." And I guess maybe 911 does do this. Even if a kid calls that there's a monster in their room, if they say, "I can't find my mom," then they just send cops there. I guess so. I mean, I guess that's kind of their job. It would have been funny if the 911 operator's like, "Monster, fuck off." Hang up. But I guess that's not really their. And they track your phone with GPS? I guess so. So two cops arrive, and they realize she's drunk. At one point they leave, and at one point they come back, and the kid's missing, and they're ready to arrest her, and again, nobody can act the way out of a paper bag in a snowstorm. And the bug, I kind jumps on one cop, and his stomach's bleeding. The other cop, who's a female cop, gets the mom, and then she's, I guess, grabbed, and I guess killed. How the hell that all happened, I don't know. You really don't see much of shit. So the mom goes in the basement, gets the kid, they leave. She gets like a Molotov cocktail, which is supposed to be the message. The bottle that she's been drinking, her demon in the bottle, she don't use as a weapon and throws it. And then they try to have like this little fire and superimpose and shit. Just cheap ass horse putty stuff. And it's funny, they leave, and then the next time we see the mom, apparently she's been sober for what, 180 days? But then it'll go back to like these two exterminators. They'll say 1 day after the fire. So we go see the lady, and it must have been at least over 180 days. If she's been sober now 180 days. I swear that's what they said, 180 days. So we go to a scene that's 180 days at least from that point. But then we go to a scene that's been 1 day after the fire. So 180 days after the fire, then we go back to, well, this is 1 day after the fire. That just seems very, very janky. And you know what's sad? The Exterminators, Bob and Wayne. I want to see a movie with them. I mean, not that the acting was great, but just I always felt like these two. I don't know if they were directed this way, but it felt like they got the vibe of this film and they didn't really take it tremendously seriously. So it's like, I ain't spraying all this. Again, the acting wasn't great from them either, but with the I don't know the way they were kind of behaving, a little bit of dialogue in between. I'm like, I would rather see this film if it was about exterminators Bob and Wayne, and not this mom and her kid. It's supposed to be this deep message about alcoholism, which is flatter than pancakes. And then they're talking about, you know what? Do we have to clean this? I don't know. I mean, we could say we took a long time. You want to get a bite to eat? Sure. And they're talking about some kind of animal. They named like a weird animal that they were going to eat. I forget what the hell it was. This movie fries my brain. That's what I mean. Like, it felt like they, at that point, it's like, I'm not going to take this film seriously. The way these guys are talking, I'm like, why wasn't more of the film like this? It wouldn't be good, but I think it would be better. Bob and Wayne, the Exterminators. Again, let the movie be more about them. So they leave, and then the guy with the milk duds comes down, and he knew apparently what was going on, and there's like a smaller bug. So, because it's smaller, it's a real bug. And he puts it over there, I guess, for a sequel. That would never happen. Thank God. Bottle Monster is cheap looking, as I call shot on Shidio. The acting is absolutely poor. The direction, at times, there's awkward staging or editing that just falters. Like I said, she's driving, then as she's talking, then boom, she's already parked. And like that, even though it's supposed to be one fluid conversation, the whole middle physical action of park your car and put in park is stopped. Or too many fade in, fade outs, fade to blacks. That was like me when I was trying to first edit like music videos back in the day on YouTube and not knowing how the hell it worked. So yeah, put it a fade out, put it a fade in, why not? That sounds right. Terrible acting across the board. Just not a whole lot happening. Like literally, you just say, mom and kid go to the house, mom and kid hang out, she drinks, handyman dies, two cops die, the end. The Molotov. Even for like 80 some minutes, not a whole lot happens. And what would you get out of this movie? It's not funny. I mean, maybe if you enjoy absolutely bad movies, maybe you could get some laughs out of it, but even that, I think there's movies that have done that better. Troll 2, Samurai Cop, Miami Connection, among others. There's nothing scary, there's nothing creepy, there's no gore, there's no acting worth a spit. And I'm sorry to the people out there on IMDb that, listen, if you know this person, I'm glad. But here's the thing. What's going to happen is if this person gets another job, there's going to be people a lot more mean, critical than me, and they're going to tell her what's going on, and that's going to be a rude awakening. Or that means they can't get better. That's what criticism is about. To try to get better. I know I'm not great at reviews, but I try to get better. So okay, don't try to repeat so much. Don't try to say ums and uhs and Try to get that out. Try to be better. Don't repeat the same thing 18 times. And still need to work on that. Otherwise, you can never get better. Sorry, you don't get a participation trophy. There's a lot of low budget films and low budget horror films that do a rather good job. If the acting's not great, then you gotta give some razzle dazzle, like The Deadly Spawn. Low budget, acting's not great, but there's some razzle dazzle fun to it. Or you gotta know your, not just your expectations, but you gotta know your limited funding. I'm gonna make the Blair Witch Project, which that does have some really good acting in it. Or I'm gonna make The Tunnel. Or I'm gonna make some of these other films that are rather good. There's a lot of lower budget independent. Savage Land, you know. Anyway, that's Bottle Monster. Thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you guys later. Bye bye.